Today we're going to be converting what's left of this big old zucchini into dehydrated zucchini chips. They are so good. I made some yesterday and ate them all up. In addition to the zucchini, we're going to be using the dehydrating tray with the opaque solid liner here. If you don't have one of these, just use some parchment paper. And you can use any spice you want on these, but I'm going to be using this Cavendar's all-purpose Greek seasoning. It came out so good yesterday. So let's get started. First, we're going to cut the zucchini up into thin slices, about 1/4 of an inch. These don't take too long to dehydrate, about 3 or 4 hours. This stuff, this seed stuff will just dry up and fall off, so don't worry about it. And I'm just going to put them on, arrange them on my dehydrating tray. I'll probably need more than one tray, so I'll be back momentarily when it's all done. These rings are getting so big here, they're taking up all the space on the dehydrator, so I just cut this in half, and I'm gonna, at this point, just scoop out the inside. As I was cleaning these up to put on the dehydrator, I realized how many seeds were in here. A friend of mine grew these, so what I think I'm gonna do is try to retrieve some of these seeds and try them next year. He got some amazing zucchini. So I'm just gonna pull this out and start slicing them so I have half rings, and I'll be back soon. Here we are. I have 5 trays worth. As you can see, the bigger the zucchini got, the more efficient it was to cut them in half. Here's what it was like with the full-size rings. You don't get nearly as much, but if you had a smaller zucchini, the rings would be lovely. So I'm going to prepare to put some Greek seasoning on this, and then I'm going to put them in the dehydrator. You are going to want to be very, very careful regarding how you season these. As they dehydrate, they shrink, and the flavor intensifies. So what looks like a good amount when they're at this stage will maybe be too spicy or salty later, but you know, it also depends on your tolerance. So I like to put my spice in a little tiny bowl like this, and I just take a little tiny pinch and sprinkle it like this to avoid a lot of too much extra. And you can see how handy it is to have that opaque sort of solid tray under this, or parchment paper, because some of this stuff will come off. It keeps it on the rack. This is about what I like to put. Well, you can see that. Not a whole lot, but enough. All right, when these are done, I'm going to put the whole thing in the dehydrator. I predict about maybe 4 hours. It depends on the number of trays, the humidity, all sorts of factors, but I think it'll go pretty quickly. Here are the seeds I scooped out of there. I'm going to have to try them next year. I don't know how to process these, so if you know how to process seeds out of a zucchini, let me know. The friend who gave me the zucchinis, he gave me several big zucchinis, is a junk collector, or not really a collector, he's a hauler. And he took a bunch of old refrigerators he'd hauled that were broken, took the doors off, laid them on their side, and grows all his veggies out of those, and his veggies are always wonderful. He says it's because, he feels it's because refrigerators are insulated and it protects the roots from big temperature changes. We get cold nights here and very hot days, so he might be onto something. Well, here's our bowl of chips. Almost all done. I have one more tray of about 10 pieces that were a little thick and didn't dry as quickly, but these are delicious. They're crispy. They have just enough seasoning on them. Again, the seasoning amount is going to depend on you, and I'm going to be putting them in a jar pretty soon and enjoying them as part of my snack lineup. Anyway, that's just one tip to figure out what to do with your extra zucchini. Thank you so much for watching.